no spaces between words, and almost no punctuation. Now, sometimes, depending on the manuscript, you'd have end of line forms, and there were a few things that scribes did, but basically it was just a big long line of capital letters. And most people who have taken like first year Greek can't read unseal. They can read up the top of the page. That's normally an unsealed text, kata ioannein or something like that. But actually reading it, if they actually look at Sinaiticus or Vaticanus or the papyrus, stuff like that, next to impossible to even start reading. And obviously, when you think about what that looked like, homoiteliuton would be even more of a problem because it's just simply the same set of letters in a long line of letters. And so let's look at what's on the screen here. And here is, oh great, for some reason it won't show the pointer. Lovely. All right, won't be able to point it out to you, but there is 1 John 3:1, or at least a part of it, in unseal. You'll see Hemin ha pater hina tekna theou. Now, theou there is what's called a nomina sacra. It's only 2 letters. It's not spelled out like it is in our Greek New Testaments, and there should be a line over it. Because the nomina sacra had a line put over it to indicate the contraction. But then the last 4 letters of the first line are clay, and then a theta, clay, and then thomen. Claythomen, the children of God, we might be called, claythomen, kai esmen, and we are, diatuta, ha, and then your kappa omicron is the beginning of cosmos, which would be the next word. For this reason, the world is not knowing us, is how it goes on. You will see that claythomen ends with mu epsilon nu, and esmen ends with mu epsilon nu, or looks like men in if you're looking at it in Greek. And so here you have a classic type of situation where a scribe writes claythomen, their eye goes back to the text, picks up the end of esmen, which is not very far down the line, continues on there, and you have an inadvertent deletion of a theologically relevant assertion of our adoption as children of God. All right? So let's take that down. There you see how it would have looked in the original language. But now I want to show you, let me see here, bring accordance up and send that over to you now. All right. Now, let's take a look at now that's sort of an analysis of the internal evidence. There is when you ask the question, why would someone add the phrase "and we are"? And why would someone delete the phrase "and we are"? Well, when you have an explanation that does not require the scribe to have malicious intent or editorial intent, that's going to be the default thing to do. There's no malicious intent in recognizing homoiteliuton here. There's editorial intent in trying to say, well, someone wanted to affirm this. Well, it starts the next verse. 1 John 3:2 says that, so there wouldn't be any reason to do that. But let's look at the external evidence now, all right? It's right down here at the bottom, and this is the UBS 5 apparatus. It is given an A rating by the committee. Kai Esmen is the reading of Sinaiticus, Alexandrinus, Vaticanus, C, P, Psi, 533. You can see the number of minuscules and unseals. The lectionaries in general. And by the way, keep something in mind here. When we look at the pericope adulterae in a little while, they're gonna peep. One of the ways you can detect traditionalism, especially amongst people that are trying to do textual criticism on the basis of a theological tradition, is they go at it backwards. They have a text, and now they will do with the data what they need to do with the data to keep this text. It's not that they have a system that would have given them this text consistently in the first place. No, they're working at it backwards. And so when it comes to pericope, oh, well, the lectionaries do this, and so we need, and there's a Latin writer over here, and you've got this over there, and you've got all this set of arguments. Then you get to 1 John 3:1, you get rid of all those arguments, and no, it's something else. And so for here, you have the lectionaries saying kai esmen. And you have, it's a Western reading. You've got various of the Latin translations, Vulgate, all sorts of early translations, even Augustine, who is going to be one of the main testifiers for the pericope adulterae, says it should say, and we are. Omit. Well, when you've got BYZ, that's the Byzantine text type. Now, let me see. I should have done this. Let me add a parallel here. Where did it go? See, unfortunately, this is a different computer than my regular one, and so the texts are in a different listing here than they are in my other one. Huh. I don't have that on this one? I'm going to give it one more quick look here, because like I said, they're in different orders. And I'm not saying it. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go all the way down to the bottom and see if I stuck it down here someplace. No, got the NA28. No, don't have it in this one. I'm going to have to add it in there. It's supposed to be in there someplace. Let's take a look at this one here real quick. This is the Hodges Farstad. Yep, I mean, it lists the reading.